have a piggy bank, and it's pique, the chile, the jalapeno. Man, I still can't believe it.
I know, I can't believe they lost either. We're on YouTube now. We're not recording yet, but we are broadcasting on YouTube live from the Scotts Valley office of the Santa Cruz Sentinel for the final time. And Jim hasn't packed yet.
Yeah. I know, right?
I have like maybe like a stack of papers like this, and I'm good.
You're good, yeah.
You all packed? You all ready to go?
Yeah, I just need to tape up my boxes because I've been using the stuff that I don't need to have on my desk every day.
Yeah.
Water bottles and stuff like that. But everything else is all packed up.
Blue tape on your computer, and then it's just set up at the new place?
You have to unplug everything. And you're going to get a bag tomorrow to put all of your things like keyboards and stuff in.
Oh, okay.
It's not blue tape. It's the purple stickers.
Okay.
It's in the email that was sent out.
Those.
Yeah, there's a lot of important information, and we've run out of boxes.
I have boxes. I have 4. Yeah.
All right. People on YouTube will be like, "What? You're moving?" Yes, we're gonna move back to Santa Cruz.
That's right.
Next week we'll be in a whole different office, and hopefully it'll work out. Maybe I should say this right now. We might not be broadcasting on YouTube live part of this next week. I just don't know how the setup is going to be.
Okay.
So, but we will have a podcast, and it will be available on iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud and all that good stuff. So there's that. All right. Test.
Me.
All right. All set up here.
And Fossis.
All right. So, windows all kind of set up here. All right. You guys ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, Steph.
All right. And here we go. It's time for double coverage. Your Santa Cruz County sports leader, presented by the Santa Cruz. And now your hosts, Jim Seimas and Juan Reyes.
Welcome to week 8 of double coverage. I'm Juan Reyes.
And I'm Jim Seimas.
And I'm your producer, Tony Solis.
We'll begin with a quick recap of week 7 to shape up with the leagues.
And we'll jump into week 8 to talk about whether Santa Cruz can make it 3 straight wins, along with key matchups like Monte Vista Christian on the road against Palma and SoCal versus St. Francis.
All this and more on double coverage. Well, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers will go out to those affected by the huge ongoing fire in Santa Rosa and Napa. The South Bay and the coast are beginning to see the byproduct of that fire. Juan, what do you think of the air quality and what's it going to be like this weekend? Do you think teams are going to be affected by it in any capacity?
They'll be affected by the weather, but maybe emotionally. Just, I don't know, maybe they have family up there. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think they should be okay.
I was thinking in terms of the games in South County might be fine, but we're starting to see some of it,
it's pretty heavy outside. Scotts Valley's got a lot of smoke. Earlier today, I walked just out in our parking lot right here in Scotts Valley, and you couldn't breathe. Yeah. I mean, it was really bad, and so I don't know what kind of restrictions are going on.
Watson was still, you could see it, but it wasn't bad as it is up here. As soon as you get past like Buena Vista, when you're going towards Aptos, you can start to see,
Well, what was it? I'm going to say the wrong name, but the Sobranes fire, is that right? I mean, that canceled a cross-country race or whatever in North Monterey County in Castroville last year. So, I mean, it's not out of the, realm of possibility.
Yeah, I mean, if it's really smoky, there's no better than me. If it's really smoky, I can't imagine that the discussion wouldn't at least take place.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I mean, but on Friday night, one of the teams we have is coming up from, Napomo is coming up from San Luis Obispo. So that's, a 4-hour trek, so decisions need to be made.
Before they even go up.
Yeah. So hopefully nothing gets canceled. Hopefully the air quality improves. But again, Napa and Santa Rosa that's just a terrible situation. So I can't say anything positive about that right now.
But we'll offer our listeners a little bit of escapism by talking about high school football for the next 3 hours.
Nice. 3 hours. We'll try under an hour.
Okay, that'd be good.
Cool. All right. Well, here's what happened during week 7. On Friday night, it was Scotts Valley shutting out King City 24-0. Carmel beat San Lorenzo Valley 49-13. Monte Vista Christian beat Alvarez 38-20. Santa Cruz topped off Greenfield 48-22. Aptos beat North Salinas 56-7. St. Francis beat Harbor 49-14. And North Monterey County shut out Pajaro Valley 29-0. And then on Saturday, it was Los Medanos College beating Cabrillo 46-16.
Juan, you went down south last weekend.
Yep.
To Castroville. How did North Monterey
Land of the Artichokes.
Yes. Did you get any?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
But cheap gasoline, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, for sure. Yeah.
And you saw an amazing new field.
Wow. It was incredible. Brand new. Opened it up. First time North County had a Friday Night Light game.
Nice.
It was amazing. It was cool to see. It was cool to see not just the players, but the community, like the people there. And I know I was talking to some parents and some of the kids, and I ran into an alum, Mike Hatton. Yeah. He graduated, I believe, 95, and he was totally down for the new. I mean, he drove all the way from Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to check it out.
Well, you mentioned you and I were talking earlier. That's the ex-Cabrillo Seahawk as well, right?
Yep.
Played running back.
And then I think he went on to Upper Iowa and played some ball there as well. Nice. But it was cool. It was cool, and I mean, I had a chance to talk to a couple of the players from Pajaro Valley, especially Grizzlies quarterback Max Arvalo, and he told me his thoughts about playing in the new stadium.
The experience playing on a new field, and I wish our people could have done something better to get our field. I'm happy for them. They got their field. It really makes a difference. Practicing every single day in hard floor, it messes up your body and everything. And they're lucky they got a field. We need to get one too. They need to get on that.
Yeah, Pajaro Valley is one of several teams that still doesn't have a home stadium. I believe Marina is one of the teams, right? I think they're one of the other teams that don't even have a home stadium either. But it's a shame. It's a shame that they've been there since 2004. They've been playing all their home games at Cabrillo, Watsonville High, going back and forth. But hopefully that'll change, because there was some good news recently. Pajaro Valley Unified School District and the Watsonville Pilots Association, they agreed on something. So hopefully they'll get something done there.
Yeah, sounds like some progress is being made very slowly, but
yeah, definitely. Well, the teams that we expected, they won. To win, they won, and that means there wasn't too much change in the top 10 power poll.
Well, that's right. Yeah. So let's jump into this week's Sentinel Power Poll. Starting at number 10.
Got a little bit early there, Jim.
I was all just ready for it, buddy. Starting at number 10, Pajaro Valley.
At number 9, we have Harbor jumping up a spot.
Yay. By the way, I was just giving starting it with it kind of blended right in there. So it's like special effects.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
That's what I was hoping for.
Okay.
I got called out.
Almost.
Number 8, Santa Cruz.
At 7, SoCal staying put. At number 5, it's SLV staying put as well.
Staying put at number 4 is St. Francis.
And sensing a theme.
Yes.
At number 3, it's Monte Vista.
Scotts Valley.
Again, this week's top team is Aptos at number 1.
Nice. A big schedule this weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. Friday night, we have the Pomo at Scotts Valley, Harbor at Santa Cruz, Monte Vista on the road against Palma, and Alvarez is coming to town to visit Aptos. SLV is going to Keene City, and Gilroy is coming to Watsonville to play the Wildcats. And then on Saturday, we have SoCal at St. Francis, and in college action, it's PC, Monterey Peninsula at Cabrillo. This week, Pajaro Valley is on a bye week. The Grizzlies are 1-6 overall, 0-3 in league play. The Grizzlies play at Gilroy when they come back, and that'll be on October 20th at 7:30 p.m.
All right, so let's jump right in. 2-5 on the year overall. To play at Scotts Valley. They're 5-1 on the year at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I emphasize that because it was listed at 7:30, then at 6:30. Now it's at 7.
Wait,
so
do you need special effects for that?
7 p.m. Friday. Yeah, so the Falcons are coming off a 24-0 win over King City and playing their final non-league game. So the Falcons look all systems go right now, especially after last week's win. Yeah, and Napomo is coming off a 35-0 win over Templeton. It's led by sophomore quarterback Braden Groshart, running back Luis Diego, receivers and Jonathan Matatua Reyes.
For everybody who's not watching on YouTube, the look on Jim's face when he's reading off all these names is like, oh my God, what are they doing to me?
Yeah, you know what? And what am I doing to myself because I typed those names? And I really was.
I didn't put that.
we have a loose script here, and I was going to put Juan's name in front of that line so that he had to read it. And it goes up. I'm like, I'm screwed. If I have to read, and I did. So I think I did okay. But yeah, those are the guys. Has passed for 729 yards with 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on the year. He's also run for 3 touchdowns. And their other guy is, like I said, Luis Diego McKellamy has run for 448 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Nice.
So
2-5. I mean, does that record?
Well, I was looking at their schedule. Like initially, it looked like a pretty tough schedule. They're ranked right around 500th in the state. As we know, there's more than 1,000 programs in the state. So for a 2-5 team to have that sort of ranking, they played some decent teams.
Yeah.
But I think that Templeton team, if I got it correct, I think that's the team that Aptos beat up on in the very beginning of the year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So that's the team that Napomo just beat to snap a little losing streak.
Okay.
Otherwise, it looks like they played some tough little teams.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they have a couple good receivers. We mentioned their quarterback, but I mean Gage Wynn and Jonathan. I got to do it again. Matatutia. Yeah, and I think I really massacred it there. Hyphen Reyes. They both have double-digit catches on the year with 200-plus yards each for stats that have been recorded.
Yeah.
So they have some players. It looks like.
Yeah.
Well,
that's so the Falcons though.
Totally.
No, I mean they bounced back ever since that loss to Terra Nova.
Yeah.
They've just been running on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a kick in the backseat.
Yeah. But hey, that was the wake up call. But what a wake up call though.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And against a really good team. So
exactly. Yeah. I mean they have Ryan Conte, Anthony Locatelli, Kyle Rajala. He's out there getting it done.
Yeah.
Getting it done. And he's got Kyle Raymond to throw to, Carson Spence.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's been a beast all year.
Totally.
Yeah.
Spence has 4 touchdowns in the past 6 quarters. He had 2 in the second half against Carmel, and then he added 2 more in last week's win over King City. At 6'7" and athletic, he's a game changer and a candidate for league MVP honors. I spoke with Falcons coach Louis Walters after the game, and here's what he had to say.
Oh my gosh, he's a man child.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's just makes play after play, and it's not just in games. He does it in practice. Hey, it was a good game. It's another week. Our defense played lights out. You're more successful when you have a defense that can play like that, and plus it helped having Carson Spence make a couple big plays in the first half.
Yeah, the Falcons have been getting it done on defense as well, Juan. 4 held opponents to 7 points or less. Last week was their second shutout.
That's That's unreal, man. That's awesome.
I don't know if there's another team in the county that's putting up those type numbers. I mean, we
Right.
see Aptos progressing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and then last week they added a running back, a transfer, James Lee Giblin. He's the guy that was at SoCal last year. He's only a sophomore. He transferred back to Scotts Valley where he lives. He had to sit out the first, 6 games, and then he comes in on his first or second carry, busts loose for a 25-yard touchdown.
So they're just getting better then.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah, two really good running backs wasn't enough. Let's add a third.
Yeah, let's get a third one in there.
So they're a pretty balanced bunch.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if you got the weapons, why not?
Totally.
Bring them on.
Yeah, right?
Let them run loose.
Yeah, they have so many good players, and the guys in the trenches are really getting better every minute. Yeah. So
and then you're saying, I mean, like on defense as well, they're getting it done. 2 shutouts,
totally,
7 points or less, and what was it, the last four games or something?
Well,
like that?
Total on the year, yeah.
Total on the year, 4.
Yeah. So
yeah,
they've been playing well.
Yeah,
so,
I think Scotts Valley should be able to handle this one.
Yeah, we mentioned King City coming up in that 2-hour drive. Napoma's a little bit further away. So I'm going with the Falcons as well.
Yeah.
They're definitely streaking.
And the public pretty much agrees with you. I would have to say I'm a little surprised. Only 93% say Scotts Valley is going to win.
Yeah.
So 7% are from Napomo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
There's not much left in Napomo. They only have the population of like 16,000. Yeah, it's incredibly small from what I saw on Wiki, I think it was. Might be old numbers.
All right, next up we have Harbor at Santa Cruz. The Pirates are 1-6, 0-3 in league play, and the Cardinals are 2-4 overall and 2-0 in league play. This is a 7:00 start.
What did you just say about my Cardinals?
They're 2-0.
I'm just kidding. I can't call them my Cardinals. I took a whole rash of heat on Twitter saying that I'm an idiot and I chose incorrectly.
All from people who've met you, I think.
Yes, they have met. Have met a lot of people in my life. Yeah, a couple Cardinals. I got a text from Bubba Trumble saying, "See you next time."
And not that we're keeping track of, but didn't I pick?
Yeah, Juan.
Two weeks in a row.
We're not keeping track.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
no.
Juan.
We're not keeping track.
We give Juan his love when he gets it right, though.
he get that one right. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him yeah, Santa Cruz, man. Who would have thunk?
Well, Juan.
Juan. Aside from inside, anyone inside,
and apparently Twitter.
Yeah, and Twitter. Yeah. Well, there's been a couple people. I'm not saying it was the whole world, but yeah, there's. The most important thing is that the Cardinals believed in their locker room.
Yeah.
And if they think they could do it again, I think they can.
He's just going to go ahead and say it right now.
Yeah, I mean, Harbor's been taking some lumps this year, as is the case over history.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're not getting shut out. And we mentioned this last week. They're putting points on the board. Last week, they did it again. Bailey Shant scored on a long run. He also hauled in a TD reception from Jamison White. There's their 14 points right there. Defense, they're still learning to improve there. They have their gated defense, and they're rallying around that, and they like to try and improve. They moved the ball considerably in recent years, but they just got to finish off tackles. Some turnovers. That'll be key in this game if they could get a turnover. I just don't want this game to be a dud. It's the battle for the shell, or the city championship. The only 2 schools in the Santa Cruz School District in Santa Cruz squaring off. So there's some bragging rights there.
Should be interesting, though.
Yeah.
What's the overall record for the shell game?
That I don't have, Tony.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sorry.
It's all good. Well, I mean, these 2 teams have played since 69 or so, whenever Harbor's football program began, because right around then, Aptos and Harbor was a little bit older. But right around that range. So 40 plus, 50 plus, 40 plus years of meetings. So
about half of the time you've been working here.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to think of it like that. Yeah. Thanks for you. So Harbor has been playing better this year. They just, they did snap the 23-game losing streak to open the year.
Right.
But we're looking at a Santa Cruz team that is really streaking right now as well.
Yep. Getting hot at the right moment.
Yeah.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, I mean, they started league play, I think, a little bit later than most of the other teams.
Yeah.
But even despite losing a couple of those close games, they went into that league game 1-0. We could really do something.
Yeah.
And then here we go. They win again next week or last week, 2-0. And the momentum just keeps going, keeps building. So I think they're gonna go for 3-0.
I try and when I make my predictions, they're somewhat educated, more than home field. And if
you always give a disclaimer though. You're like, well, it's a coin flipper, so I'm just going this because they're the home. You always qualify it.
Sure, that's the easy way out, I guess. And in this situation, Harbor has faced Greenfield, and then Santa Cruz played Greenfield last week and beat up on them. I really didn't see that one coming. Common opponent there. And the Cardinals did some really good things that they're hoping to see done. And so I obviously didn't get to see last week's win, but it would be so beneficial before making a prediction of seeing what they're bringing to the table now, where they've improved. I mean, they were going nowhere on offense.
Yeah.
When I saw them.
Yeah.
And
same thing. When I saw them playing against Lincoln, they just like that offense just shut down in that second half.
Yeah.
There was like nothing. There was nothing going on for them. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know what happened, Bubba. Flip the switch. And
right.
There it is.
And
he got his players going.
Totally.
Yeah.
I saw him for a quarter against Fremont, and there was some busted some big plays downfield on pass plays. But otherwise, the Cardinals played a really good defensive first quarter that game. They ended up losing substantially that game, but I mean, they look like they've really turned a corner. And kudos to them because that's awesome.
Yeah.
So everything I got to remember, everything is week to week, and things really change in a heartbeat.
Yeah. No. So. Abram Soriano. I mean, he had a couple touchdowns in that win against Greenfield. Getting it done now. Right there under center. Johnny Soto. He had a couple of scores as well, I think, and they got a couple other running backs as well.
Yeah.
Daniel Loza, Alonzo Rodriguez, and then Adrian Flores and Taj Carpenter.
All those guys ran for touchdowns last week.
Wow.
Pretty much the whole team.
Yeah.
Which made for a busy night for female kicker Grace Scheibel. Well, she's also a standout on the girls' soccer team, stud, and she made all 7 of her extra point kicks. So that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they got Dean Schimmel got to play. He's a transfer from Valley Christian, and he had 2 catches for 60 yards.
That's one of the kids you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I previously had said that he was from Monte Vista Christian. My bad. He's from Valley Christian. And but yeah, nice little game for him. It's nice to always get an extra weapon because you don't only get that extra weapon. It's what it does to the defense on how they are forced to adjust.
Exactly.
And opening up other options of your offensive playbook.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with Santa Cruz on this one.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Same here. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Yep.
Well, the public agrees with you guys, but what do they know? Because I'm going with Harbor. Sorry, Bubba.
Yeah.
81.4% are picking Santa Cruz. 18.6% picking Harbor.
Interesting.
So that's nice,
Bubba. You can hate me on Twitter as well, but just know my pick is uneducated, and I pick Harbor every time.
Yes, it's all good. Next up, Monte Vista Christian versus Palma at Rabobank Stadium in Salinas at 7:30 on Friday. The Mustangs checking in at 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the Gatlin division. Palma, the Chieftains, are checking in at 2-4, 1-2 in the Gatlin.
Wow.
Uncharacteristic record for the Chieftains,
especially at this time of the season. Yeah,
but I can tell you that they're still a very good team.
Oh, definitely.
And Vista Christian.
Yeah,
because.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sean White, he's getting it done. At quarterback, he tossed 4 touchdowns and finished with 367 passing yards as Monte Vista defeated the visiting Eagles last week. Big time bounce back win after a tough loss against San Benito the week before. But yeah, what a way to bounce back. I talked with Mustangs coach Bruce Deeney on the phone after the game, and he was thrilled with the way White was playing or has been progressing throughout the season.
Sean looked real strong tonight, and I think he had his first 6 passes. And so that really sets the tone, and each week he's playing with more and more confidence. We also have him rolling out a little bit more, so he looks, he's pretty mobile, and, getting him, outside of the tackles is working pretty well.
Some help from Nick Bautista, who had 8 receptions for 167 yards, along with 2 touchdowns, while Cody Pereza finished with 182 yards on 20 carries, plus a 63-yard touchdown run. Like I said, man, that White's got some weapons. He's getting it done, and they're looking good right now.
You keep impressing me every week.
Yeah. And then they also had another stud out there, Dan Brierly. He stood out on both sides of the ball for the Mustangs. He had 5 catches for 68 yards and 8 tackles, along with an interception on defense. Bruce told me how much of an impact Brierly had.
Oh, he just had a great night all around. He had a real complete game. He returned some punts and kicks for us, and he's just a real quick, intuitive player who is all over the field. I think he had at least 2, maybe 3 pass defense where he knocked down some passes and had an interception that was just awesome. And he just plays with an energy and a fire, and he's just all over the field for us.
He also had Garrett Lane out there. He was a tackling machine. He had 14 tackles, including a pair of stops late in the game that helped the Mustangs pretty much seal the deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't going to be, even though Monte Vista's exciting to watch every week and surprising us every week, this is not going to be a cakewalk by any means. We talked about Palma before they played Aptos earlier this year, and the Chieftains are led by quarterback Grant Sargent and wide receiver John Bering and running back Anthony Villegas. Those guys are some pretty studly guys.
Definitely.
All 3 of them. And they do have a pretty decent sized line. They're big. They're physical.
Right.
They're just trying to put the pieces together against previously against some powerful programs.
Yeah.
So
you think Palma has that defense, though, to stop White and I mean, all these weapons that he's got around him?
Yeah. Well, that's completely different from what I saw him against in what they faced with Aptos.
Right.
Just a run it down your throat type team,
Yeah.
So that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, because I have seen Palma once.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you saw him play against a really, really good team.
Totally.
Too,
totally.
Yeah. So.
But like we said, that was a lights out second half for the Mariners against Palma. So, I mean, it's not one of the upper echelon Palma teams that we've come to know, but they just have this deceptive record, really.
Yeah.
I think they're a really good team.
Yeah.
And that division is so deep that this is going to be a brutal test for Monte Vista Christian.
Okay.
In fact, so much so that, like I said, Monte Vista keeps surprising me every week. But I'm going to have to go with history and with the Chieftains to win this game.
Okay. I'll go opposite. I'm going to go with the Mustangs just because I saw what they did against San Benito, who is supposed to be the #1 team.
That was surprising.
Right?
And impressive.
Impressive. Really impressive. Yeah. I mean, they were, like I said, during that game, they had all the momentum going their way. They were in position to win that game if it wasn't for the fumble on the punt.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were there. And especially even towards the end of the game where they recovered the onside kick and White had a chance. He drove him down the field. I think he got him down to about the 30-yard line or something, 25. I don't remember, but they were there. They were in position to tie that game, maybe even take it. So that's why I feel like I would have pulled this one off.
So your dance.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. The Mustangs crusade.
Oh, they're gonna tweet you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that should just be the stand. Like if Jim doesn't pick you, just tweet him. He's
airing
it out.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, there's I can't hear. Oh, it's not working. Okay.
Well, the public agrees with Juan. 60.5% pick MVC, 39.5% pick Palma. So kind of close, about a 60-40 split. Kind of close.
It's close.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, I don't know if I didn't see the way had played against the Hay Balers that day, maybe I might have gone with the Chieftains.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, they impressed me. They're getting it done. They're getting it done, and I believe they can do it. I think they could do it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next up on the slate,
Yep,
is Alvarez at Aptos, 7:30 p.m. on Friday. Alvarez checking in at 2-4 overall, winless in the Gavilan division at 0-3, at 4-2 and 3-0 in the Gavilan division. The Mariners are one of 3 remaining unbeaten teams in the Gavilan. The others being San Benito at 5-1 overall, 3-0, and Salinas 4-2 overall, 3-0. Thoughts, Juan? Alvarez winless, Mariners powerful force.
Yeah. No, I mean it's hard not to pick against the Mariners, man.
Yeah.
I mean they got studs all over the place.
We don't give their defense enough love, but they have plenty of studs there. But
yeah,
no,
I mean, yes, I mean, yeah, we always talk about the offense. Marcos Reyes, running back, he had a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Bubba Gallardo, Josh Powell, they each had a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
Looks like Aparicio, Angel Aparicio is coming up. He tossed a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah.
He
probably has the strongest arm of the quarterbacks. Guys who've taken snaps.
Yeah.
But Hunter Matthews also scored.
Yeah.
Or also had a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I believe he threw for one, is what I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah, I think he threw for one. Yeah.
So
no, and then you said that defense. I mean, they don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Blake Wheeler, he's a ball hawk.
Yeah.
I think he had a pair of interceptions. And then who was the guy that had a couple of touchdown returns?
Yeah, that was nice.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
Our audience doesn't, but we know. That's what happens when we don't have a roster in front of us.
Yeah.
Tony, would you like to ask me about a career record between these programs?
No, but I would like to point out that Aptos defense, since you're talking about it, did, I believe, hold North Salinas to no points because the only points North Salinas scored were on special teams.
Nice.
Yep.
That is correct.
That was a kick return.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
It's only it's on the script that Jim wrote.
That's true.
But I wanted to make it seem like I hadn't some knowledge.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. You
full knowledge.
Yeah.
We all do that, and then we give our disclaimers.
Yes.
I just don't want to.
There was mine.
Yeah. Because if I get caught on the street type thing, like, hey, what do you think? I gotta go. I think my boss is texting me.
Yeah.
The Eagles have they opened the season with wins over North Monterey County and Alisal,
right?
But have set were held to a total of 7 points in losses to Burlingame, San Benito, and Palma before scoring 27 in a loss to Monte Vista Christian last week. So, Aptos, Monte Vista Christian. Monte Vista's right in Aptos' backyard. Maybe they had a coach or two over there scouting. They obviously did a film swap.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't even too concerned. I don't know, because this Aptos offense could compete with a lot of teams, even on a bad defensive wing. But yeah, Alvarez has had trouble scoring points until last week.
Yeah.
And they're led. That said, they're led by Matthew Martinez and Ben Perez, and then Michael Ramirez has been their top running back, and Isaiah Correa has been their top receiver. But it'll just be too. I think it's going to be too hard for the offensive firepower of the Mariners.
I think so too. I think Aptos is just too stacked, man. They've got depth and skilled positions in that, in that depth. So
yeah, Alvarez has one too many losses, three too many losses for me.
I mean they've lost 4 straight.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with the Mariners.
All right, so not a game.
Well, the public definitely agrees with you guys. This is the first time this has happened since we started doing the poll a couple of weeks ago.
1-0-0.
100% has picked Aptos to win, which, and to be honest, always kind of scared me. Like when people are that confident,
right?
Because confident that Trump wasn't going to win, and now we've got the president. So every time somebody is sure scared. Sorry, Aptos. It's just I'm skeptical. I'm a journalist. What can I say?
Especially during high school football, where anything goes. A turnover 2 or 3 or a running back.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Breaks a leg.
But I'm rooting for Aptos. Don't. I'm definitely rooting for Aptos. It just 100%, man.
Yeah.
That makes me scared.
Yeah, we're rooting for no one here because we're unbiased.
Oh no, I'm biased because
Okay.
I don't cover high school football. I'm a completely partial
There you
person.
go. By the way, did I tell you how Westmont did last week?
Hey, how was Gilroy?
Westmont lost last week.
Really?
Yes, to Piedmont Hills. Gilroy won last week. They're unbeaten. We're gonna get to Gilroy for
Yeah,
I know.
we'll get there soon.
Yeah.
Gilroy's dead to me. I'm on the Harbor train.
you. There you go.
But before that, let's get to this game.
Sure.
Yeah, SLV at Keene City, 7:30 start. The Cougars are 3-3 overall, 1-1 in Mission Trail play, and the Mustangs are 3-3 overall and 2-1 in Mission Trail play. This should be good.
Yeah. Well,
This should be interesting.
we talked about King City coming up to Scotts Valley last week,
Yeah.
and if that 2-hour drive, 90 miles, took a little out of them, and their coach said no. So now we got to find out if it does anything to SLV going.
Yeah.
What's he gonna? Is he gonna tell you
Yeah.
yes? Like, yeah, but totally. That's what did it. Like,
Yeah,
no,
if
of course he's gonna say no.
No, but if it did, it did. I mean, it's after the fact. It's after a 24-0 loss, and excuses are excuses, or they're not, or they're just plain reality. So he could have said whatever, and I would be buying it. And I don't know how you had to do it for track and field, but you take a long bus trip to get fired up. Sometimes it's a little bit extra, man.
Our long bus rides were on Saturday mornings, I think, for the invitational meets. Our Thursday meets weren't. Then there weren't quite as many schools. Seaside or Monterey might have been the farthest that we went.
Yeah,
it wasn't much at all.
Yeah, well, a bus trip's a bus trip, and you add 30 minutes onto it, where those buses, at least back in the day, didn't smell good. They smell like gas fumes, Or so they're like, and then you're crammed in there with 60 dudes.
Was it from the 60 dudes or from the bus?
A little bit of both, man. It just doesn't do great things to the brain, or the heart. So,
which I believe was my argument last year against merging all the, or disbanding the SCCAL because of the long bus trips.
Yep. Yeah, but they're also bonding experiences, and any coach will point to that. But they're just
but it could take a toll though.
Yeah.
Long ride.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, do I think that's the reason why I'm going to pick the team I pick? And we haven't even talked anything about the teams. To be announced.
Okay.
So
yeah. Well, I mean, the Cougars, they're coming off a pretty rough loss against the defending Mission Trail champs, Carmel. Now they take on Keene City, which beat CCS Division 4 champ Solid 2 weeks ago before losing to Scotts Valley. Like you said last week, 24-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keene City, I mean, they're not a huge team physically, but they've got some pretty strong kids that can play in the trenches.
Totally. I was impressed. I mean, I think they hung around pretty well. The Scotts Valley had to pull out some trickery.
Right.
So they did a flea flicker,
Mm-hmm.
and they scored on that with a pass to Carson Spence. And then they did a reverse with a big gain to their wide receiver. So, and then they got called for a penalty, offsides, on a touchdown pass to Spence, and they hit him again on the next play. There was just some big plays that were kind of the dagger for King City. Would they have lost this game anyway to Scotts Valley? Yeah. Do they think they have a pretty good team? I do. And I've only seen SLV against Yerba Buena earlier this year, which isn't very fair because SLV's played some pretty good teams.
Yeah.
And some of them they won and some they lost. But it'll be an interesting matchup. Should be a very good matchup. But SLV being on the road against this team, which is a pretty physical team, I think the Cougars definitely have more than their fair share of work cut out for them. That said, I'm kind of leaning King City. The Mustangs were shut out last week, yes.
Right.
But they have some weapons, and one of which is running back Cedric Perez. They have a pretty shifty quarterback in Luis Luna, and I don't know how tall he is, but he's got a cannon, and he can throw it all around the yard if he wants. And then they have and they put him at receiver. They put him at quarterback, Clay Barbary. This guy is, 5'11", 200 pounds, kind of a stud.
Yeah.
So when they were putting him out at receiver, Sally normally will play a lot of guys like man on the outside, but they were having a bracket over them, moving their safety over. This guy deserves the attention. So he's not like Spence, like 6'7", but this guy he's like the all hands team,
Okay.
He's
a baller.
Yeah, he brings everything in. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So
well, you think it's enough for them to stop the Cougars? I mean, they got a couple weapons too. I mean, on offense, Trent Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had touchdown passes to Julian Aldridge and Howard Foreign, and then he had, I think, the week before that, he had 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Same thing to Aldridge. Both of them. He had a pair to Julian, and the other one to Jacob.
Yeah. He was normally splitting time at quarterback. It looks like he's wanting the position out right now.
Yeah.
And then, or just getting all the reps, from what I could tell.
Right.
And then, they have some pretty good receivers, some fast little running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They're a capable team. They have some speed, but so did King City. It's just I think that the way King City passes, I think SLV's defensive secondary definitely needs to be on its toes.
Yeah.
Because they could wing it around everywhere, and it's more than Barbary. They have some other guys. Barbary's their go-to guy.
Gotcha.
That needs all the attention, but.
I didn't really get a chance to see SLV's pass defense because they didn't really have to really stop the pass against Pacific Grove. It was mostly all run.
Totally.
But I don't know. I'm not. It'll be a challenge for sure. It'll be a challenge. Yeah.
It's it should be a good close game. One of the better contested ones this weekend, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with King City on this one.
I think I'm going to go with King City as well. They're playing at home. Like you said, they've got especially the running back position, Cedric Perez. So it's King City.
Yeah, the one that gets me the most on this one is in terms of opponents is the way they played against Soledad.
Right.
And Soledad may have been without their leading running back, which is quite huge. But, that win impressed me incredibly. So, and just seeing the way they played Scotts Valley, it was a loss and they were shut out, but they're still, like I said, a really good team.
Yeah.
So
the public seems to be as split, the two of you. I mean, talk about a coin flipper. We've got SLV 51.2%, King City 48.8%. So, I mean, nearly split down the middle.
Yeah, this is a hard one for sure.
I like that people aren't goofing off while voting. Like,
I think
they're getting it pretty good.
People are taking this seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we just started doing for fun. I don't know how well we really publicize it, but we're getting a couple of responses, and people. It's not just Homer.
Yeah,
so
I
think it's good.
Yeah.
Good job, people.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, what do we got next?
Alvarez. Oh no, we did that one.
We just was like, wait, what? We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. That's how much we think of that game. Great game. Oh, that was the dud, actually. Gilroy is what we have. 6-0. 2-0 in the Pacific.
Monterey Bailey.
We can't keep track of all the leagues now.
That's how bad it is, man.
There's too many
in
leagues.
The Pacific division of the Monterey Bay League, the Mustangs of Gilroy are playing at Watsonville. 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats checking in at 4-2 overall, 1-1 in the league. You are our resident Watsonville expert,
and
they have they've gone 1-2 over the past 3 games.
Right.
Is there cause for concern, or what do you think the mindset is in the Wildcats locker room heading into a team that is probably ranked in the top 300 in the state?
There's a little concern, I think, especially on the run defense. They had trouble. They had trouble in the Irvington game. They had trouble stopping. I forget his name. Big dude.
Yeah.
Same thing against last week against in their loss. They had trouble stopping Alice's quarterback.
Yeah.
And
so there's always an athlete or two that's kind of.
I think it's just
getting through.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have maybe more of the same. Who knows? Because this Gilroy team, in terms of surprising, every week we're hearing that Gilroy's good, and then they do what they did to Christopher last week.
Right.
And they won 24-7. I thought that Christopher was going to win that game, which A or B, I guess. We're now on B, and maybe C. Is that I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
You know nothing.
If this podcast has proven anything, it's that you don't know anything.
I know nothing, right? And if I've gotten you to listen for 40 minutes, the joke's on you. Just kidding. Christopher's good, man.
They are.
They pass it all around the yard, and for them to get their butts whooped like that against Gilroy, looks like they do a little bit of everything. But they have a power runner, but their quarterback's pretty good.
Yeah. No, running back though, Joseph Barnes.
Yes.
1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Closing in on 1,000 yards. 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Total.
12 rushing, 3 receiving.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big test for Watsonville.
And
definitely.
I think, Tony, I don't know how good your memory is, but I think we've been mentioning Jonathan Castro
for a while.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think he was there last year. But he's been close to flawless. And granted, maybe not all the stats are updated on NBA Press, but he only has 1 interception thrown on the season.
Wow.
So And he's been working with a bunch of guys as options. I mean, Barnes is one of them.
Yeah.
But Mac Pierce, Braulio Rodriguez, Andrew Castro are among his options. I mean, he's a team, but they look like they do a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah, and they're doing it on the other side of the ball too. Defense. I mean, they've only allowed 8 points or less in 3 games.
Yikes.
Yeah, but the Wildcats do have some weapons on offense too, though.
Yeah.
They got some good running backs as well.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Tell me about the studs. Give me the shouts out.
All right, we got the shouts out. Shouts out to Evan Delozier, Matthew Barcelo, and Johnny Bravo.
Now, what is interesting is on MBay Preps, you can hide, and Max Preps, any of these websites, you can hide your statistics. And this often happens during postseason time. Some teams are so good they just don't care. Some from the West Catholic League will still hide their stats. Or other programs. I think the West Catholic has a rule where they can't. They leave them up no matter what, which is a great purpose or source for scouting. In addition to watching the film, you see tendencies by the number of receptions or whatever.
Yeah.
But under Watsonville, we had submitted a couple boxes, I think, to MBA, and there's no quarterback or receiving stats available. They're gone.
That's weird.
So I'm curious if whatever happened, if Watsonville's going to try and pass more this week. Don't know.
You know what, schools? Put your stats up.
No, I
Come
know.
on.
Well, I mean, there's a ways, because I swear they've been listed in previous weeks, but this week there's no quarterback or anything to be seen.
Okay. And I wonder if Baltazar is still going to be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't talked to Coach Ron Meyer, so I'm not.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like finger pointing. I'm just saying, So I'm saying maybe we'll see some trickery or some personnel switches, or just passing.
But don't you think that by taking the stats down, the other team might also think the same thing that you're thinking right now? So what's the point? Just leave the stats up. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't
it helps
kids
us too.
Yeah, it helps us.
It helps us. But I mean, if I were on the football team, and if I were a stud, not that I was ever in high school, but I might want to go on that and be like, look.
Well, you can put it back on. You can put it back. It's just one click away that kind of blanks them. And they're blanked because I was looking for some stats.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
Me neither,
homie. So on that principle alone, I'm going to go with Gilroy. Just because.
just that one alone.
Yeah. Gilroy is just killing.
Gilroy's too good right now. They're doing it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Balanced. I think the only way Watsonville pulls this off is if Gilroy has a couple turnovers and Watsonville can capitalize. But no, Mustangs.
I don't think I was giving Watsonville any love early season, and they surprised me in game 2 and 3. Don't have their schedule in front of me, but what if they do that again? Because we know they're capable of quite a bit. So anyway, maybe there's this upset week, but Gilroy.
Well, the public definitely agrees with you guys. 83.7% say Gilroy, over 16.3% say Wildcats. I hadn't had a chance to do that yet. I forgot. I forgot that I had that little sound clip.
We still love you, Watsonville. We want you to pull the upset.
Much love. Week. Yeah, I won't be mad if my pick goes bad on this one.
I think we mentioned SLV being a possibly good game, Aptos being a dud, and some of the others. We're trying to keep it real so you don't go waste your $6 and $10 unless you have a student pass. But this next game on Saturday, is our game of the week.
I would have to think.
But
see it. Go. See it.
Yes, right? Saturday.
Wait.
Saturday. 2 p.m. at St. Francis.
Be there.
That's for all you monster truck fans, by the way. And that night game, Monterey Peninsula at Cabrillo is solid too. But SoCal 4-2 on the year, 2-0 in league. St. Francis 6-1 overall. They haven't lost to anyone in the state yet.
Oh,
and 3-0 in conference. That game 2 p.m. in Watsonville at St. Francis High School. So this could be a really good game.
This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
No, I mean both teams capable of scoring points.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's
going
to be tough.
I know. It's going to come down to defense and turnovers, but like you mentioned, the point scoring. The Sharks have scored 37 or more points 5 times out of 7 games. SoCal has scored 27 or more points 5 times. So granted, there is a 10-point difference
Right.
and an opponent difference. St. Francis will mostly do it on the ground, and they can pass, but they mostly do it on the ground and with good defense. Soquel can do it in the air. So, and they could actually, if they get Nolan Moss back.
I was going to say, they need to get Moss back.
Yeah, they could do that on the ground too. So,
yeah.
Both offenses I really like watching. Defensively, I think the Sharks have an advantage. They played much better defense this year, and they've forced some turnovers. There's been a couple games this year where Soquel just seemingly hasn't had the desire to tackle.
Right.
Or the opposing running back has been sprayed with like some sort of slippery material or something. Not accusing him.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
or
like against PV, was that one of the games?
Yeah, actually against PV a little bit, and I believe it wasn't Irvington, the Fremont team they faced, or was it from Oakland?
Fremont of Oakland?
Yeah, where they lost 63 to 40.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they had a running back that just ran for like 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Right.
But certain times they just don't want to. Well, you don't want to stick your head in there, but just make that tackle.
Yeah.
And other times they do. So I just don't know what Soquel defense is going to show up. I know what St. Francis defensive team is going to show up.
Yeah. No, last week, Corey Parker recovered 1 of 2 fumbles that were forced by the Sharks. And Joseph Ramirez had an interception as well. I talked with Sharks coach John Osman on the phone after the game, and he told me how the defense was able to get the job done last week.
One thing is first of all, D-line wise, those guys have done an excellent job being very, very physical. I mean, it starts there, and so physical play up front by our D-line, and you could say all 9 guys that we have rotating in there have been impressive, and I feel good about all 9, and so that's really, really, really help us. And then we pursue really well. We did not tackle very well tonight, but luckily we pursue the football well. Allows us to make some. And obviously, we have to get better at tackling, but when you pursue the football well, you give your chance at lives, and we're not giving up those big home run plays that we used to.
I like him. He's done a great job.
Definitely, for sure. That as the skipper, and
I mean, considering where the Sharks were, 2 years ago,
no league.
They've been, they've been building for this point.
Yeah,
and I think,
I mean, it's pretty amazing to me. I mean, as the outside observer, not like you guys being the experts, but just from the outside observer, going like, wow, the Sharks. I mean, this was one of the reasons why they weren't in the league, and the SCCAL didn't have enough teams or enough good teams,
right.
And like it kind of. But now they're doing great. Like, you guys do this like 2 years ago, and we'd still have SCCAL. Come on.
And you don't put it on any one thing, because John has done a great job, but Adam Hazel, the former coach, set them up for this. And also not just Adam and his staff, but the kids actually coming out to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they have limited numbers at the campus. They're 250
small school
kids.
Really, really small school.
So you got to get multi-sport athletes there.
Right. And that makes it all the more impressive that how well they're doing now.
Totally. So, I mean, this is a school that is definitely on the rise in terms of they're going to have all athletic facilities here. At least that's the goal in terms of an on-campus field. Just some beautiful things going on, but athletically they got some guys, and so does Soquel. I mean, we didn't give them as much love as they deserved last week because they had a bye.
Right.
But they destroyed Harbor a couple weeks ago. And Miguel Del Real, their quarterback for the Knights, was en fuego. 2 scoring strikes to Kieran Budez, 2 to Jackson Dudek, and 1 to David Blanke. So
they've got some studs on offense too.
Yeah.
So that Sharks defense is going to get tested.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be tested, especially because Del Real can go out there and he can sling the ball.
Totally.
So,
and even in Moss's absence last week ago, Andrew Keller got the bulk of the carries and went off.
Yeah.
So rushing for 100+ yards, I think. And
yeah.
So it's nice and he had seen action earlier this year, all year, and scored. But he saw some extended reps, and that was good,
Yeah. And then Moss is on both sides of the ball, so that's going to help Soquel as well. Trying trying to stop the Sharks' potent offense from getting on top of them early and often. Yeah. So
you're the one who always points this out,
mm-hmm.
but 2 weeks to prep. So they had a bye last week. So how much does that help? Who knows? We'll see. Should be a great game.
Yeah. Should be good. Yeah.
That definitely. Said, I'm not one to call upsets. I think there's a possibility here with a team especially capable of passing the way the Knights pass. It seems like, their guy, Kieran Budaz, is open every play, it seems like. You know, there's been a few drops in there, but I mean, and Dudek and Blanky are doing a great job. So, but I'm going to have to be safe. My safe pick is to go with the team that plays defense. And I think they're pretty damn balanced on offense too. So I'm going to go with the Sharks at home.
Same here. Too many weapons, I think, on offense for the Knights to handle, the Knights defense to handle. Sharks have Devin McLeod, Carson Cusick. I mean, they both had 100+ yards last week, and I'm gonna have to go with the Sharks. They're on a roll. They're the hot team.
Yeah,
for sure.
The public agrees with you guys. 86 St. Francis will win 14%. Oh,
there you go.
All right, and finally in college action, we have Monterey Peninsula at Cabrillo College in 2-0 in conference play, and the Seahawks are 1-4 overall and 0-1 in conference play.
And the Lobos are not state ranked, so that is very good for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say they get a break in their schedule, but earlier this year,
they've had a tough schedule.
They fell when they were state ranked. Monterey Peninsula has also played Foothill, but it's
West
nice.
Coalinga, Los Medanos. I mean, that's another 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now Yuba was up there, and I think they dropped down a little bit. One of the teams that was up there dropped off.
All right.
But at some point, 3 or 4 state-ranked teams. So a tough schedule for the Seahawks, the young Seahawks.
Yeah.
But
I think that's good though. I mean, it's getting them, ready. You got to play the best to be the best. So,
totally. Well. MPC has played Yuba as well, and they've played Foothill, so they played a couple similar opponents. They're on a 3-game win streak, and some of those teams that they beat, they beat San Jose City, they beat Gavlin. Last week's win impresses me. They beat Merced 34-27 in overtime.
Yeah,
but I mean that win over Gavlin doesn't do much for me. The win over San Jose City, Cabrillo's beaten San Jose City, so 3-game win streak. They're doing something that their streak Cabrillo isn't doing in a positive fashion right now.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks they need to get better in terms of turnovers.
And ahead so quick.
You know what? You're right. They're playing behind
from behind
too often.
Way too much. I mean, that's got to take a toll on the offense. I mean, just always having to 10, 14 points just to stay in that game.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now we saw Nick Martig, the quarterback for the Seahawks, throw for 5 or 6 touchdowns 2-3 weeks ago. He threw for 4 interceptions, kind of the Jekyll and Hyde side of being a freshman.
Yeah.
And then last week he just had 1 touchdown thrown and 1 interception. Seahawks were still plagued by 3 turnovers, fumbles lost. So every week they're having 3 to 5 turnovers, and they really need to eliminate that. You say, not play from behind. Let's score first, set the pace.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they gave up 5. The defense gave up 569 yards on offense.
That part scares me. Immensely.
Yeah.
Now we know, and they had done that the week before as well. Put up a ton of points and yards. But I didn't see that coming because I think that was supposed to be a strong point for the Seahawks coming into the year, even though they're young. And since week 1 or 2, it's been the offense that has kind of shown a little bit better. So the defense hasn't overly impressed me just yet.
Week 1, when I saw him play against Yuba, defense was, I mean, they look good.
Yeah.
They look really good. Then I think we did the roundup for the next game. They started giving up more yards. Look at those stats. You see the total yardage just keep going up and up and up. So, might be some concern there too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, they do have a stud though on defense. No,
They have several. Tyler, returning for them. He had a fumble return for 70 yards for a touchdown last week. Carlos Witherspoon had 2 sacks. And Witherspoon also had, it wasn't like getting done on the other side of the ball for the Seahawks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they turned the ball over
way too much.
Yeah, way too much. Yeah. So yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. You know, you set up the other team with good field position, you allow them to get on top of you really quick.
Yeah,
it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, Casey Hamilton was the only guy that scored on offense for the Seahawks, or he hauled in a receiving wise. He hauled in a 20-yard pass from Mardig. Otherwise, Jamar Porter scored on an 89-yard kickoff return.
Wow.
So, and then we mentioned Shuey's touchdown on defense.
Yeah.
So,
well, that defense, you know, they're going to have their hands full though. I mean, because NPC, they're loaded. They're stacked. I mean, they got like you said, they beat San Jose City, they beat Gavilan and then they won last week against Merced in overtime. They have
a couple Hunters leading the way for them on offense.
Yeah.
Hunter Rackett at quarterback and Hunter Nye. Both had solid showings last week in the win over Merced. Pair of scores, and Nye ran for a pair. So on the season, they're doing pretty well for themselves as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, Rackett's passed for almost 1,000 yards.
1,000 yards, connected with Michael Armstead, Mateo. Rackett has 8 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. That have 8 sacks, 7 fumble recoveries, 10 interceptions.
Yeah,
they're getting it done on that side of the ball too.
Yeah, so it's not going to be.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be another tough week for Cabrillo, I think.
Totally. These two teams have scrimmaged in August. And Cabrillo showed well for itself.
Yeah. When the Lobos started 0-2, you know, but 3 straight, and they did it against a pretty good Merced team last week. So
that Merced team,
I think I'm gonna have to go with NPC on this one. Even though Cabrillo is at home, I would like to pick them. Is scaring me a little bit. Many yards, and they got to eliminate those turnovers.
Well, I'm hoping for Mariners know how to change the tide type thing and work with motion. I'm actually going to go opposite you. I was hoping to set you up. That wasn't a bait, by the way. I do think NPC should be favored in this game, obviously, because of the record. And I think they're playing better ball right now. But I'm going with do factor. I like do factor.
The do factor. That's another one of your excuses.
Do factor.
Yes, do factor.
And it is something. It's a thing.
Scientifically quantifiable.
Yes. So the do factor is, just cut down those damn turnovers and play some defense. It's asking a lot for what they've shown, but they've also played some better teams. And I think
if they can play a perfect game, no turnovers, and they could actually lead and hold on to it, they have a chance. But this team has a chance, though, if they could do that. Just to have the weapons, they're set up. That defense could play lights out when it wants to, and I mean the
offense needs to help out. Sustain.
That's drives. What I'm saying. Yeah, I mean Terrence Smith, he needs to. He needs to find those holes, keep drives, keep the chains moving. And then,
take some of the pressure off Mardig.
Exactly.
You know, but they do want to pass the ball is the thing.
Right.
But Mardig can take a beating and give one as well. So he's a big kid.
Well, the public, I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised by this. It's kind of a coin flipper. 53.5% pick Cabrillo. 46.5% pick Monterey Peninsula.
That's fair.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want the Cabrillo to get the win. But from what I've seen these last couple weeks, I
think the general public nailed it again. I think the 2 best games this weekend are on Saturday, and they were close. Or like the other ones, it wasn't close. They still had St. Francis, but But I mean, it's a good game. It's a battle for first place, and this one's Seahawks.
Yes, if they get back on track.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean they only have 1 loss in the conference.
Yeah.
So this could, even it out 1-1.
Totally.
So,
I've seen them win this conference several times with one loss. So
yeah,
maybe it's that type of year.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in to Double Coverage. I'm Juan Reyes.
And I'm Jim Seimas.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud. And make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There you at Airing It Out to get to make fun of Jim and his picks. Okay,
Sure.
Just so you know.
Yep.
I'm not telling you my Twitter name.
Yeah.
It's
Solis_Sentinel.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to hearing from Bubba. You can follow us there for updates on all your favorite teams. And don't forget to take part in our weekly poll on who you think will win each week. Find that and more at
SantaCruzSentinel.com/football. Until next time. Sad.
I know. No more
Soy Trees Day.
I'm so sad. And we're out. We're out of Scotts Valley.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a better room next time.
We're going to be lucky if we get a room, period, next time.
Posters. You're going to set up a cardboard box with some homeless people in the back.
Pretty much.